Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. We are so excited. We're so excited to have you here as you jump in, tuning in from. Welcome, everybody. We have New Jersey, Baltimore, California, Nebraska, Florida. So cool. Los Angeles, North Carolina. Oh my gosh, we're from all over. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Okay, so tonight the topic of discussion is how one wig client can replace your chair revenue. So today we're going to be talking about the exact framework that turns wigs into a repeatable, scalable revenue stream. So this is the exact system that we actually teach hairstylists. It's the exact system that takes a high demand service and turns it into a repeatable, scalable offering in the salon. Most importantly, with a lot less hours, right? No duplicating hours, a lot less hours and a lot more impact. Okay, so for those of you who are listening, I would love for you to stay to the very end because we have a bonus surprise for you. So for those of you who are here, when you stay to the very end, you're going to learn about this amazing exclusive bonus that we have. It's a brand new bonus. We've never done this before, and we're freaking out. We're so excited about it because it's literally insane. But before we get started into the training, I want to take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Jamie Madsen. I'm the founder and CEO of a company called Maven Mane. We are a luxury medical grade alternative hair company. I reserve. Tied issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member. Ah, muted.
You had to take that. Oh, oh, oh.
Sorry. Thanks, guys. Thank you, team. We have an incredible team here today that's going to be muting anybody who joins. So we just ask if you see yourself unmuted or unmuted, please mute yourselves. We really appreciate it. Okay, so our purpose here is to help redefine standards for women who are experiencing hair loss and the stylists who serve them. So my work lives at the intersection of both identity, beauty, and business. Now, today, Maven Mane trains stylists all over the world. We actually just obtained one of our first international stylists in the UK. So we're growing, we're expanding so quickly. And we teach them how to offer high ticket hair loss solutions without gambling on suppliers or thousands of stale inventory or more hours behind the chair. But before any of this started, before actually, this number is a lot higher. We didn't update this team. This is now 80 something, 88, 89 brand partners that we have inside of our program. Before we ever had any luxury wigs, before we trained a single stylist, this system did not exist. Okay, so we decided to build it. And this is not based on any kind of theory. This framework came from thousands of hours of testing, sourcing, losing tens of thousands of dollars, reverse engineering the industry, and then ultimately rebuilding it for hairstylists. Okay, so hairstylists, one of the things that we realized, and this was how we knew, we realized that hairstylists were missing out on this really incredible six-figure service. And so we know because I started out as this client who needed this service. I had this really big problem. Okay. If you look closely at this image, you will notice that I have big chunks of hair missing from the neck of my hairline due to repetitive pulling, a condition commonly known as trichotillomania. So during this time of my life, I was experiencing extreme stress and overwhelm. I was embarrassed because this condition had taken over my life and I hated the way that I looked. I'm going to share with you exactly how this happened, but you should know that only a year before I ended up with an accidental pixie cut and chunks of hair missing from my head, this was me. On the outside, I was thriving. I was happy. I was successful. I had just had my biggest year ever as a real estate agent. I had actually been given an award as the #1 realtor in the state of Colorado on social media. And I was coaching people on business and life. My life on the outside looked like it was a highlight reel. But deep down, I had a secret. For 3 years, I was hiding. I was hiding from divorce trauma, post-separation abuse, parental alienation, spending over $35,000 on attorney's fees, getting stuck with tons of debt, and I spent 4 months sleeping on my best friend's couch. These are some of the messages that I would receive every single day of my life for 3 years. And so it inevitably led to severe depression, pulling and cutting 18 inches of my own hair, a restraining order, and a complete identity and nervous system collapse. All of this leading up to my sister's wedding. A week before this date, I had just filed a restraining order. I had cut another 3 inches off of my hair, and I deeply, deeply did not want to go. Now, in this picture here, this is actually my new family, my incredible husband, and our 3 kids. But despite this being a time where you would think that I would be happy and healing and recovering, I was not. I was really struggling on the outside, on the inside. I remember telling my mom how close I was to not even attending my own sister's wedding. That is how ashamed I felt of my own identity. But as I thought more and more about it, and how I just knew that my sister would have been absolutely devastated if I wasn't there to support her on her big day, I realized that the truth wasn't that I did not want to go. The truth was that I just didn't ever want to feel this way again. So after my sister's wedding, I made a decision. I began to explore my identity. I began to test fashion, wearing wigs for the first time, putting on makeup and self-expression in a way that I had never, at least not since I was a little girl. Let's admit that. So, during this season of my life, out of this very deep, dark pain that I never wanted to go back to, wigs became my secret weapon. In November of 2024, I attended a business conference with over 500 beautiful women. You can just imagine the feelings that I had leading up to this event, given the shame and the insecurities and so on. But I went anyway. I went, I wore the wigs, and I told my story to literally anyone that would listen to me on this day. And you can even see in this photo right here. This is a photo of me wearing a hot pink wig at the conference with brand new friends that I had never met before this day. At this event, I met several of my idols, women that I had followed and studied on their growth paths for a really long time. Many of them told me I was an icon, and they encouraged me to share my whole story to the world. And so at this conference, I even got to have this iconic photo shoot in the rooftop penthouse of the Vinoy Hotel in St. Petersburg, Florida. And this was the first photo shoot that I ever took with a wig on. And it actually became the tool that I used to eventually reintroduce myself to the world. So I left that event knowing that I was about to build something that the world had literally never seen before. I didn't know what it was, but I knew that I had just unlocked a much bigger purpose. And I'm just curious too. I'm going to check into the chat periodically, but if you've ever felt that feeling before, or maybe you're feeling that right now as you're listening to this, would you guys drop purpose in the chat so I know you're here? If you have felt that before, if you've like ever known like this is my purpose, or maybe you're feeling that like purpose, would you drop purpose for me? You have purpose, purpose, purpose coming in. Amazing. Thank you. Amazing. So that became the moment where I looked at someone very close to me and I said, I think that God is giving me a calling, and I think it has something to do with wigs. As a matter of fact, that person that I said this to is here in the room with us tonight. Her name is Lisa. She's our stylist success manager. So make sure that you say hi to Lisa. She should be pinned up at the top over there. She's an incredible support person. We would not be here without her. So what did I do next? I listened. I trusted. I showed up. And eventually, women began sharing their stories with me, one by one by one. They wanted to know, where did you find your wigs? Do you have a stylist that you recommend? How have wigs helped your confidence? I desperately wanted to help them. I was sending a DM a day, at least, to somebody new with links to my wigs or resources or just supporting them throughout their own journey. But I was keeping another secret to myself that I didn't want anyone to know. And it was that My wigs were literally terrible. They were actually that bad. Okay. They kept shedding. They had huge bald spots on top. They were dry. They were frizzy. It was a miracle if I could get them to look good for just one single photo. Okay. So I had spent hundreds of dollars on Amazon, on TikTok Shop, online shops that were promoting human hair wigs, but within weeks, they would look just like this photo. So I began to research. I went to 7 different salons. Okay, they would tell me, I'm so sorry, we can't help you. They would say, your hair is too short. They would say, that's not your niche. They ignored my calls. They treated me as an afterthought, and there were zero resources. Total dead end. At the same time, I would see celebrities wearing wigs that you couldn't even remotely tell was a wig. I would see famous wig makers on Instagram selling $15,000 beautiful wigs and wondered how normal people with normal budgets could afford these quality of wigs. I saw the gap in the industry, and I also saw that nobody was talking about it. No one was filling it. It was like this void where I needed a solution and it just simply did not exist. So I kept wondering why our luxury high quality wigs, why they were only accessible to celebrities or people with extreme budgets. Now, this was the moment, this was the exact moment where I didn't realize it at the time, but I do now when I look back on it, is when I really began sourcing. Okay, so I spent tens of thousands of dollars on low quality wigs, 12 months with a supplier who turned out to be a total middleman fraud. And that there was secret design decisions being made without my approval. And then there was another huge problem that arose. I couldn't find a single hairstylist that was willing to cut and style my wigs for me. As a matter of fact, I recently spoke with a local hairstylist who's now inside of our program. And she had at the time, she asked me if I was working with anyone in my area for wigs, and I couldn't help but laugh because I told her I've actually tried reaching out to dozens of stylists locally, and every single one of them ghosted me. So she actually went on to explain that there is no continuing wig education in the industry, and hairstylists are nervous and afraid to touch wigs, right? They think wigs are wiggy. They think like you don't want to mess this up because it doesn't grow back, right? Like hair loss, or maybe hair loss is too sensitive of a topic. If you can relate to that, would you drop relate in the chat? I would love to know if you can relate to that feeling because I think it's a really real feeling. Relate. Veronica says relate. Sarah says wigs are definitely wiggy. We'll see. Stephanie said relate, relate, relate. Amazing. Okay, so here's the thing. Deep down, I knew I had a moral obligation to help women recover their identity. I actually recently listened to a training where the speaker said, if you have something that you know that you can help people with, you have a moral obligation to do that thing. And so that really landed with me when I heard that, and I wanted to bring it to this call tonight. So if you as well, if you've ever thought that, or you're thinking now, like I can help hair loss clients, maybe drop moral obligation in the chat. That would be great. Moral obligation. Okay, because I knew that through high quality wigs, I could help thousands of women recover their identity the exact same way that I went from this to this. Okay, so after thousands of hours of designing and sourcing wigs, after tens of thousands of dollars on mistakes, we figured out how to design virgin medical grade wigs that looked and felt like my own hair. I could run my hands through them. They fit on my head like they were made for me. Even after over a year of wearing them, they didn't shed. They didn't lose color. They didn't become frizzy. They were just as beautiful on day 365 as they were on day one. We started to make hairlines that no one would question if I was wearing a wig. The quality of the hair started to meet our standards and felt like every woman's dream hair. And it became something that we could replicate every single time. So ultimately, I cracked the code on how to make the same wigs that celebrities wear, but within a normal person's budget. I built a system to control designs and outcomes for clients. And I ultimately, most importantly, discovered the missing profits. Who was stealing them? We're gonna get to that. And we gave them back to the stylists. I reverse engineered the industry. Okay, so we just shared how we established our mission, how to make the same exact wigs that celebrities wear, how we as an industry can control all of these decisions that are being made in the making of wigs, and we'll be talking about who was responsible for the missing profits that belong in the pockets of artists that do this every single day. So many stylists hear this story. You'll hear my story or a version of it, I'm sure at this point. Um, and they're usually thinking, usually we hear if this took her that many hours and that much money, how do I know this is going to work for me? And that's a valid question, but it's also what we have seen is the exact false belief that helped keep stylists trapped in chair income. So I want to show you exactly how we turned wigs into a scalable business model for salons to multiply chair revenue without multiplying hours. Would you guys find that helpful? If you find that helpful, would you drop yes in the chat for me? Would you just say yes? Let me know that you're here. Amazing. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. Awesome. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Great. I'll keep going. Okay, so we discovered that the big brands who were mass producing wigs were hoarding all of the profits, and the stylists who were stuck fixing decisions that you did not make were being cut out of the deal. Okay? So, what did we do? Everybody can say this together all at once. We reverse engineered the system. Okay? So, in other words, we systematized ordering, we vetted suppliers, and we built training around how to design wigs. And then all of a sudden, wigs stopped becoming customization chaos, okay? And they became a scalable offer that stylists can provide without holding inventory, without learning how to make wigs yourself. Nobody got time for that, okay? Thousands of hours sourcing or thousands of dollars getting it right. Now, one of the ways that we do this is by simply reverse engineering the math. Okay, we're entering math class. Okay, so if a stylist was to earn between $500 and $1,500 profit or more per wig, and we'll talk about how that's possible in just a second. That's one client replacing a full day behind the chair, just 2 to 3 clients replacing a week of chair income, and just 5 to 10 clients replacing a monthly salary without adding more hours. Okay, I'm gonna let that land. Is that exciting? Because we get really excited when we talk about this. So I just like, if that sounds exciting, give me an I'm excited because I love to hear people's excitements. I'm also a human design generator and I work really well based off your feedback. So if you feel excited about that, I'll get more excited and we'll just all be excited. Okay, everyone's excited. Dana's excited. Stephanie's excited. iPhone's excited. Amazing. Stoked. We got a stoked. That's great. I love it. Okay. So I want to introduce you to a hairstylist and a friend of mine named Bree Morgan. Many of you may know Bree Morgan. Bree is a hair loss and topper specialist. She was actually just given the Educator of the Year award at SalonCon Live, and Bree had been sourcing wigs for her clients on her own for literally years. Every wig that Brie made was it was a custom order, which is great. We love to hear that, right? We're all about customization options for clients when it comes to their wigs. But the problem was, it was a total shot in the dark on whether or not she would get the same quality wig as the time before. Every single order took hours of decision making and late night overseas communications. So Brie didn't want to stop offering wigs, but she definitely wanted to stop reinventing the wheel. She wanted to stop spending late nights communicating with suppliers who don't speak a lick of English. She wanted a system to scale her hair loss business without burning her out of the business entirely. And she ultimately wanted to turn wigs into a repeatable offer without relying on companies that cost $5,000 to $15,000 for a quality wig. So now when Bree sells a wig, she's not just trading hours, she's leveraging a system and she's doing it with margins between at least 5 and 1,500 plus per unit, depending on the client that she's serving. She's going to talk about this in a second, the difference between cosmetic clients and medical clients, okay? And so now one wig replacing a full day behind the chair, okay? So actually, Bree recently shared some notes with us on what it costs her to work with a factory on her own. So on her own, it cost her over $1,200 to build. Additionally, another $150 to develop a custom color. It would cost at least $250 plus, with in some cases insane tariff prices in addition to that, and at least 5 to 8 hours customizing behind the chair, right? And so we recently actually had Bree join us for a live session where she explained in detail, like detail, how by applying the system that we're teaching you tonight, she was able to multiply her profit and revenue. So I'm going to share that with you. We're all going to watch this video of Bree, and she's going to explain how she reverse engineered the math and is able to make an insane profit through developing the system with her wigs. Oh, there it is.
You can have a heart-led project while still making a wildly awesome profit to keep your doors open. Because at the end of the day, if you can't pay your bills and keep your doors open, it doesn't matter how good of a heart you have because now your business is closed. Initially was when I was getting these pieces from just factory willy-nilly suppliers. How the shipping and insurance to even get it over here is so expensive. And yeah, the piece might be cheaper, but all of this other work that you're doing, the time that you're spending, the cost for your time, the amount of customization and stuff that you have to throw into it is so much more. One of the biggest things when I came in was how can I actually make a profit? I have my own hairline, I have my own topper line already, but when I would need to get wigs, I would have to outsource that with other manufacturers because mine didn't have that at the time. So to break that down for you, because I'm a numbers girly, I lead my business with my heart, but at the end of the day, we are business owners. We are CEOs, we're professionals, and I have to make sure I can keep my doors open next month. The pieces I was getting from overseas were on average around $1,200. Comparing to what Maven pieces cost, okay, if we're looking at a 16-inch piece, 1,200 factory piece versus 1667. Now you might be looking at me and being like, Bree, but that one is actually cheaper. So how are you going to tell me that we're making more money here? And I need you to just hold on to your britches for a second. I'm about to blow your noggin. So for me to buy that $1,200 piece and get it shipped to me, this is before tariffs, guys. Okay. Now we're talking on a whole nother scale. So before tariffs, my shipping and insurance rates on that were on average, not at most, on average, $250. Then you add in PayPal fees or MoneyGram fees. So by the time I received my wig for the insurance that I put on it and everything, I was usually in the $1,500 to $1,800 range already. Okay. So now adding on the color customization, that was going to be anywhere from $80 to $150, plus the time it was going to take me to customize that because the custom pieces that they send you come in like 7 colors. And they're like, would you like blonde, brown, black, or super black? And you're like, blonde, I guess. So it's one of those that, yeah, you're going through all this and you're like, well, okay, I have to customize the color. Now the hairline looks like a square. And you're like, okay, so I'm plucking that. So by the time I got done customizing that wig, it was usually an 8-hour project. was multiple days squeezing these things behind other clients here, there, and everywhere. So my customization rate runs $100 an hour, but my hourly rate behind the chair when I'm working with client is even higher. Okay. So I was technically losing money on my customization so that I could do this. I am a very heart-led person. Little bit of backstory on why I'm so heart-led. My mom passed away from cancer in 2020, and that led me to this entire hair loss journey that I'm on. It's one of the reasons why I specialize in this and the entire thing, right? So when she passed away, starting to do wigs for cancer patients was one of the things that I decided was going to be my passion project and my give back in her memory. So, knowing that I was going to work with cancer patients, I decided to have two separate structures. I have a clinical pricing structure and a cosmetic pricing structure. You do not have to do this. This is a choice that I made, but I already had this in place moving into the Maven main structure. And when I came into Maven, I was like, I want to make sure I can still do this. And now I'm seeing a higher price ticket, right? Now it's 1667. And I'm like, well, now I'm really not going to make any money, right? Wrong. Here's why. Now with a Maven piece, I pay no shipping. I don't have to insure my piece. I don't have to have tariffs. So there we go, right? Now moving on to my color customization. Guess what? These pieces are gorgeous. They're beautiful. I don't have to customize the color. I'm not using as much product, and my profits just went up 63%. Before, I'm gambling and throwing money away, and really, I ran my numbers using those things. I was in the hole significantly. About 38% is what I ended up being in the hole on my wig business before I found Maven. Since I have had a Maven piece, have I ever had to do anything fancy? I've never had a return. I've never had to recolor anything. I've never had to pluck a hairline graciously and just hope for the best. I've never had to ventilate more hair because somehow I put it on and that hairline's all the way back here and it looks a disaster. That happened once. I was like, guess I'm learning how to ventilate today. My life is so much easier. And knowing that when I order a piece, it's going to come in and be exactly what I expected. We move into the cosmetic side of this market and my profits should go whoo, all the way up. And the cosmetic side, I mark everything up 120% across the board. So on a 24-inch bright blonde piece, I'm bringing in $5,300.
And I think what's so
And
great about that is people can choose their own pricing. They can choose where they want to fall in between this. And having the support, the other stylists that do this every day and to learn how other people price their packages.
just will sing your name from the rooftops, from every rooftop there is.
Thank you. Well, we adore you too. This has been a dream come true partnership. It really has.
Okay, amazing. I can never watch that enough times. I just adore her. You know what, those people with the best energy ever. That's Brie. And so, okay, so Veronica said Brie knows her stuff. She really does. She really does. And we're just honored to have partners like her. So if Brie can systematize the wigs, so can you and I. Okay, but how many of you are sitting here going, I'm not an expert like Brie. I know nothing about wigs. I've never worked with wigs before, right? Here's the part that most people don't realize. I'm gonna get real. I know you guys don't know me, right? You know nothing about me. I'm probably a brand new human face spirit to you. Neither did I. Okay, I'm not a stylist. This is what most people don't realize. I'm not a hairstylist. I didn't go to cosmetology school. I didn't know a single thing about wigs, densities, knots, hairlines. We always joke, don't give me scissors, okay? Because I'm going to turn into Bob Ross real quick. All right? Like, it's a happy little accident there, or not so happy, right? I ultimately had to reverse engineer everything, okay? From sourcing to design to manufacturing, education, understanding hair qualities, hair origins, all right? And I need you to understand something. The fact that you went to cosmetology school, you're not just already a step ahead of me, you're like 100 steps ahead of me, okay? So that's when I realized is that stylists think that experts are what build systems, when in reality, systems are what builds experts. Okay. So I want to give you, this is a time, if you have a notepad out, this is a really good time to take notes. Okay. I want to give you some of the questions that we ask to build the system that we now teach stylists from all over the world. Okay. And the questions are, and don't worry if that we go back by this too quickly for your hand to write this down. We're going to do a replay. So you get the replay of this. Okay. We ask, where's the hair origin from? Can you create consistent length? Right? That's a thing. Can you color match? What are your cap sizes? What type of cap construction are you using? How much density are you using? What are your hairline options? Can you create different curl patterns? Right? Well, a little too quickly, right? These are a lot of questions, and maybe probably even a fraction of the questions that we need to be asking suppliers, okay? And so, as a hairstylist and understanding this system and how to design wigs, you get to bypass all of the legwork that I did as someone who didn't know a single thing about hair, okay? So obviously, because I cut off all my hair. I don't know if you were here for that part, but all right. So I want to recap with you everything that we covered, right? So far, because we're not done yet. We proved that wigs are scalable when you systematize ordering, suppliers, and the design, okay? We proved that you don't need to be a wig expert, that systems create experts, okay? We proved you don't need, oh, I already said that. We proved the market already exists. Stylists just have not yet been positioned to serve it yet, okay? So wigs are scalable. Anyone can do it, and the demand is already there. But if you're sitting there and you're thinking like, okay, so I believe that this works, but I don't have the clients that I don't have the clients or the clients who will pay, right? The clients who can afford $5,000 wigs. Maybe you don't have hair loss clients walking into your salon. So I'm going to take a moment. I want to help shift your perspective a little bit. Are you guys okay with that if I just like expand you a little bit and show you what's possible when you do this? If you're ready for that, would you guys drop expanded for me? Let's do expanded. Will you drop expanded in the chat? Oh, cool. David said, I'm a stylist. I work with wigs all the time. I actually have a construction on a unit I'm finishing tonight. Amazing. That's so cool. We have a lot of wig artists in our community. We have celebrity wig artists in our community. We have those who are brand new to wigs, never touched a wig before in their life. Amazing. Okay, let's get expanded. So the biggest, oh, I already went through this. Got a little ahead of myself. The biggest mistake that hairstylists are making when thinking about how do I attract clients, right? How do I get these people to pay lots of money, right? To hand over their credit card for something like this. And for those of you who are here who are actually like meant to hear this is really going to land with you, I think, in every area of your business, okay? Not just with wig clients. Is that you think that what you need is clients, okay? You don't actually need wig clients. And now you're going, but Jamie, isn't this why I'm here? Like, isn't that kind of the point of this whole training? Yes. But I'm here to tell you that you might be thinking about it the wrong way, okay? Because what you need is not wig clients, but what you need, in fact, is a wig client magnet, okay? Or in other words, put into layman terms, a client attraction skill that you can use to attract only the right people who will book appointments with you and pay whatever your fees are without hesitation. Okay? So I want to show you exactly how stylists create demand for high ticket wig services, even if none currently exist in your salon. Okay? So you guys already know this about me. I didn't start with wig clients. I wasn't a hairstylist. I wasn't in a salon, most definitely not in a salon. I didn't have a chair. I didn't have local clientele or a referral network. In fact, I was hiding literally everywhere. This photo of me, this is me and my two little girls, was after I shaved off all of my hair, what I now refer to as my Britney Spears era, okay? I wasn't just hiding from the world and no one knew who I was. I was literally hiding in my own house. All right. So, how does a girl like me go from hiding to a global wig company that everybody knows? Well, as you know, it all started with trying to solve my own hair loss problem. But again, I knew what these clients were going through. I did not want to be the person saying, online going, are you losing your hair, right? Come buy a wig from me if you're losing your hair, right? It felt insensitive. It felt gimmicky, right? It felt like, predatory. No, not the vibe, right? And it too, it felt like hunting people's insecurities. And ultimately, I knew hairstylists probably felt the exact same way, right? If I felt that way, hairstylists probably felt the exact same way. So I actually almost didn't talk about wigs at all. But then I realized something. This is when it clicked for me, okay? These women were already seeking these solutions, right? They were already buying from TikTok, just like I was. Alibaba suppliers, even human hair suppliers that maybe didn't market, they're from Alibaba, but that's where they're from, right? Like I call them drop ship wigs, right? Buying on Amazon because there was no trusted professional who was guiding them. So, this is what I did instead. And this is what we teach a lot of our clients to do when we do like our business growth trainings and trainings on marketing or just client conversations, sales in general, is storytelling, right? I shared my journey. I talked about hair loss. I documented my sourcing journey. I educated on the quality standards that I was learning. And today, people send referrals to me every single week for wigs, a non hairstylist. I get referrals every single week for wigs. And it was not because I marketed to people's pain points. It was because I positioned it as something, as a solution through the angle of telling a story, right? And it's not always my story. I tell people all the time, if you're working with clients and you're selling hair loss services, when you're telling a story, tell mine. I don't care. Okay, tell my story. Everybody knows somebody with hair loss, but when you tell from the lens of a story, people make decisions. They have their own epiphanies through your story. This is something I'm very passionate about. I'm going above and beyond in this training because I think the world needs to know this information. That is, when you tell somebody a story, rather than forcing them to have an epiphany about whether they should buy something from you, they get to have their own. And then they convince you why they need it. Okay, so that was off script, rant over, but I just thought that I would share that with you. I felt called to do that. Okay, so one of the biggest things that I see too is some people are like, I don't want to be on social media. I'm not on TikTok, which neither am I, by the way. I deleted the app because I'm like, I'm not even on it. Or like, I hate Instagram. I'm not on TikTok. I don't share on social media. I want you to know, first and foremost, that's okay because you already have clients and a local authority as a hairstylist,
Okay,
right?
I gotta go.
Mm. How many of you have somebody who knows somebody else, right? You have a client or you have a friend or a mom or a sister or somebody who's gone through something and somebody always knows somebody. This is how I end up getting referrals all the time now because now at this point people know that I do wigs, right? And so through word of mouth, right? And you tell a story to somebody one time, and that story spreads like wildfire. And then all of a sudden, you have people coming to you, but you have the perfect referral stream sitting right there in your chair. Okay, so I just want you to imagine with me what it would be like to have clients DMing you about wigs, booking consultations with you, flying in because you were positioned as somebody that can help them, right? Them referring their sister, their mom, their friends, because you are known as the specialist, the person who can support them going through what they're going through, okay? Most definitely without predatory marketing, without awkward selling, just building authority, trust, and relationships in the business, okay? And that is how quickly you can scale your revenue when you take the system that we're teaching you to do here, right? And then you take a heart-led mission to help more people and you do it through the lens of storytelling. When we see clients of ours in our program do this, their business spreads like wildfire. Like I have to call them. I'm like, "Are you okay? Did you mean to place that many orders this month?" Because it's insane how quickly their business is growing with this. And they're making extraordinary income while making extraordinary impact at the same time. Okay? So, okay. So I don't even know what time it is, but I think something in like the last 45 minutes or so, we spent a lot of this time explaining how to create a demand for wig services, how having a design system is the exact way to source for wigs. I showed you how possible it is to do this, even if you've never worked with wigs before or don't have any hair loss clients. I just want to know if it would be okay with you guys if I spent the next like 10 minutes, just about 10 minutes sharing a special offer that would actually help you implement this, help you do it faster, as well as help you avoid a lot of the costly mistakes that I made myself. So I just want to read the room for a second, and make sure that you guys are okay with that. If you're okay if I do that, would you drop yes? Would you drop yes in the chat? And if you're okay with that, then I will continue. I got yes, I got some sure's. Okay, sure, go ahead. We'll see. Yes, please. Yay. Okay, amazing. And then for those of you who have questions at the end, we'll stay on for a few more minutes and we would love to answer your questions. Okay, amazing. So, a solution that makes offering luxury wigs simple. You can learn it in under an hour, and it's built to help you scale. Okay, so I want to do something really special for you. Everything that I showed you today, the sourcing framework, the design decisions, the systems that turn wigs into scalable revenue, I had to figure out all of this on my own through trial and error and through a lot of expensive mistakes. So instead of you reinventing the wheel, I want to give you our Maven design system. This is the exact system that I spent thousands of dollars and thousands of hours building, now packaged for stylists. Okay? And so within the system is guided custom design, within the system are pre-vetted options for density, length, color, construction, hairline, built-in decision support, wholesale pricing with margin protection, medical grade manufacturing standards, standardized customization forms. This is the system that's built to design, source, price, and sell luxury wigs without guessing. So the system replaces thousands in failed suppliers, months of trial and error, guessing wig constructions, densities, and so on, pricing mistakes that kill margins, and sourcing chaos. Okay, so we value this system at $9,999. Don't worry, we're not even remotely close gonna offer it to you for that today. Okay, actually, with that, you're gonna be able to unlock brand partner access. Okay,
I'm familiar with ordering.
I'm actually going to share with you. I forgot we have this next. I'm so excited about this. This is one of our stylists in the program. It's like 60 seconds long. Her name is Dawn, and Dawn is a celebrity wig artist. Dawn is actually, I got permission to share this with you guys today. I don't even know if I told my team this. It's so cool. I told my daughter because I knew she would freak. Dawn is the wig artist who co-created the wigs on the Wicked sets. And she also designed the wigs for Taylor Swift's most recent album. And she's within our program. I got the privilege of having a one-on-one call with her the other day, and she's an incredible human. So she had something to say about this system, and we wanted to share it with you today. Oh no, where did it go?
I'm familiar with ordering from China and ordering from overseas, and I've done all that. You guys have done all the legwork that I don't want to do.
Exactly.
I just want access because I could call any one of these Jewish wig making companies that have a good quality of hair that you can find in China.
Yep.
Then you're ordering, you're testing, you might get something great, you might get something terrible, you don't know, you're spending all this money, I don't want to do all that work.
Right.
And so I saw this presentation and this opportunity, and I was like, great, this can be a way for me to service the people asking me for.
Without taking on all of the investment risk and liability.
While I'm still primarily working in production and celebrity and all of that.
Yeah.
This is starting to, I'm seeing where I need to bridge, and this provides me a bridge that's a realistic solution.
So really interesting concept too, to see somebody who works in high-end celebrity wig production who makes the $15,000 to $20,000 wigs, also seeing the bridge and the need in supporting people at all different price ranges. And so we thought that was a really interesting perspective. So hopefully at this point you can see why the system itself is so valuable, but we would be crazy to think if that is all that we were going to give you on its own, because a system without understanding how it works and how to make the right decisions for your clients is not enough. Okay. So we created what we call wig University. WIG University is a structured decision-backed certification program for licensed cosmetology professionals who want to design, price, and sell luxury wigs with confidence. So within that, we give you our luxury wig design framework. We teach you everything you know to make decision-based customizations, profit first pricing methodology. We have an entire suite within WIG University that's like 3 or 4 modules long that teaches you how to develop pricing within the salon for wigs. We teach ethical hair loss consultations, and we have more of those even coming too. We have a lot of guests in the program. We'll get to that, but consultation trainings, medical grade standards, expectations, and coming soon, we're doing a lot more advanced fitting, styling, post-delivery customizations, even some of these trainings being taught from expert-led stylists within the community already. Okay, so replacing guessing around customizations, figuring out how to design density, knots, hair construction, pricing for profit, consulting with clients professionally, and avoiding supplier disasters all on your own. Okay, so total value $1,999, but you get to unlock it today just by becoming a brand partner. Okay, so the next thing we have is our Maven Wig Artist Network with artists just like Dawn and Bree and so many others. Okay, it's a private professional network that shortens the learning curves, prevents costly mistakes, creates visibility and opportunities inside the industry. We host this inside the school platform, which is an incredible user-friendly app that you can keep right on your phone. We've had the best feedback about the app itself and how easy it is to just plug in and watch trainings and navigate. It's very user friendly. Okay. And then we have and then it's replacing paid masterminds, coaching programs, anybody else like me, just like a serial investor in themselves. Okay. So I'm with you at this point. I'm in like, I dare even admit this in like probably the 6-figure range when it comes to what I've invested in. I've invested in one-on-one coaches and mentors and communities just to be a part of them and live events. And so that has been our intention from day one, is to replace that and not just to create a wig company, but to create an entire ecosystem where everyone can get support from everyone, not just myself, but leaders and experts on all different topics, from understanding hair loss to business scaling and different product collections and things like that. Okay. And so here we go. Next up is monthly live strategy and business growth trainings. One of my favorite things to do, if you can't tell. So we do live real-time strategy sessions designed to scale your wig business and beyond, right? This isn't just about wigs. A lot of our clients, we just had a training this last weekend. Was it last Sunday, I think? And the entire concept, it was called Booked Out Hair Business. And we taught for about 90 minutes. So the replay's there the moment that you jump in, and you can watch the replay on that. We had probably the best feedback I think we've had of any training, where we go really in depth on these consultations and how to story sell and how to sell without feeling slimy, right? And so we teach a lot of those different things, but we also go beyond that and do hair loss education, client psychology, marketing and positioning strategies, how to attract clients, right, in an ethical way, and also a way that actually works and is not like, oh, just post 5 times a day on social media, right? No, we want to help you get to the goal in the shortest amount of time possible. Okay, so we do sales, consultations, long-term business expansion guidance. Let's see, we're on to the next one. We also have a Maven artist directory designed to drive trust, visibility, inbound opportunities. This is a public listing on our public-facing website. As a Maven certified wig artist, to help build trust, credibility, give you geographic visibility, right, for potential inbound client opportunities, and long-term brand equity with our company as we continue to grow and develop. Okay, so then one of the things we get questions about all the time are insurance claims. We have a lot of clients in the program who are like, I'm here simply because I did not realize that this was even possible for my clients, or stylists who are trying to help their clients out of the goodness of their beautiful hearts, but it's a lot of work. You have to get your own NPI and then submit claims, and then next thing you know, you're up at like midnight trying to submit a claim for a client. We actually developed a department within the company that's sole job is to focus on insurance claims. Actually, Lisa, who's here, is one of the ones who has an extensive insurance background, and she's helped support that department as well. And within that, we provide insurance education for wig professionals. So the actual claims department is a free service that we offer for clients who want reimbursement, right? Or want to apply for reimbursement. And so within that, we help stylists communicate with clients, right? We teach best practices for client communication, reimbursement aware educations, and ongoing updates within the insurance company. This is something we've had a lot of really great feedback about, and we're going to continue to do that. Okay. And then, yes, we have toppers, extensions. Actually, our topper collection is newly released this month. And so we've had a lot of requests for this. We've been developing it for a long time. So everything from toppers, lace closures, clip-in toppers, headband toppers, and extensions, including Genius Wefts, Italian keratin tips. We're always taking feedback from our brand partners on what other products you love to see within the collections, and always, always putting stylist profit first at the forefront of our minds so you can actually run a business and leverage amazing products. Okay. And then let's see what's next. Where are you? Okay. I think last but not least is actually a new offer that I launched. A quick backstory: before Maven Mean, I was a business coach for 5 years. Actually sold real estate for 9 years. I coached realtors in the real estate industry, and I did business coaching exclusively for 5 years. Yes, while I went through a mental health crisis. Don't you dare judge me. We made it to the other side of it, and I'm happy to say I've had a lot of really successful clients, and I absolutely love helping entrepreneurs grow their businesses. So we decided to bundle this new offer that I created, which is a private podcast where we teach on everything. One of my favorite conversations: how to create your own economy, right? Creating structured offers, pricing, systems, positioning. We have leadership discussions, identity and decision frameworks, business, money, growth conversations. And one of the best feedback that I've had about this so far is it's actually audio that you can consume while you're living your life. So you don't have to be here on a screen. You get to put it on your headphones and plug in on your own time. You can pause it, you can go back to it, you can re-listen to it a bunch of different times. And we've had such great feedback on how much this has supported people in the in between, while throughout the month until our next call. So come on. So going over everything that we covered: the Maven Design System, Wig University, Maven Network, monthly live trainings, the online directory, insurance support, hair extensions access, the Built to Scale private podcast. The total value would be $21,097, but that would be literally insane if we were to ask you that. When we added this up, we're like, that's insane. We would never ask people for that, okay? And we're not even gonna ask for half of that, because again, that would be literally insane, okay? And as a matter of fact, we're not even gonna ask for an eighth of that as far as an investment. If you're feeling this in your gut, you're like, how do I become a part of this? Okay, which would be $2,637, by the way, but we would never ask that. So today, the only payment to join Maven Main is $1,497. And when you join, you get to redeem 100% credit towards your first fully custom wig, and 100% of that is redeemable towards a fully covered starter wig. So our wigs start at $14.97, and they go up from there depending on length, density, right? All the things. And like Bree said, shipping is within the US is always included. But that was one of the things that we wanted to offer you for staying till the very end of this call. And we have a link that we're actually going to drop in the chat here as well. For those of you who want to read through everything that I just covered, because I know it's a lot to absorb, so maybe you want to actually read through it. You want to look at all the things we discussed. You want to learn more about the opportunity first. We have a link that we're going to drop in here for you. Okay. So just to back up, when you join through this offer, you get the system, you get Wig University. Those are what we're doing first, right? We're offering first. But when you join and when you complete the certification, we will credit 100% of your purchase towards your first wig. Okay? So this offer and this enrollment period ends on Sunday. Okay, after Sunday, the replay is going to go away. And so this is the period. So you have until Sunday. For those of you who are like, this is amazing, I want to do this, you could go ahead and just right now, we'll celebrate you on the chat, and we'll call you out by name. We can't wait to celebrate with you. But for those of you who want to read through, I know some of us are more analytical buyers and we totally respect that. Then you have until Sunday, okay? I think it's Sunday at like 11:59 p.m. So you have all day, okay? And so some of the things some stylists have said after joining us, Jackie Douglas said, this training is awesome and straight to the point. She's loving it so far. What do we got? I'm so excited to be here. I'm so tired of turning away clients because I don't have solutions for extreme hair loss. We have hairstylists that have been in the business for over 26 years and are now noticing a large influx of clientele that are starting to lose hair and can't help them because extensions would be seen. Is anybody else experiencing that too? If you are, you can drop influx, right? Are you too seeing an influx? So, and then I'll be looking at some of the chats here. So for those of you who have questions, I'll come in and answer them. I know you said, can you show some of the units? I'd be happy to. When I stop screen sharing, I'll show you some of the wigs that I actually have behind me if that would support you guys. One thing we like to remind you, because people are like, can I go to the website and shop? This is not like a Daniel Lane where you just go on and you shop for like a wig that looks exactly, what it is. This is a fully custom business, right? And so every single piece is fully custom. Everything from like what we talked about, the hairlines, the densities, the different colors. We have over 40 colors on our color ring, so I can show you guys our proprietary color ring today too if you want to see that. But even beyond that, when we're customizing wigs, we capped our coloring at 40 colors because otherwise it would be like insanely big. But we can make any color you possibly want beyond that. Let's see. That was Christina said doing extensions for 20 years. Her mom suffers from hair loss. She's been trying to find her the perfect wig or topper for years with no luck, and she finally has since joining the program. So that has been incredible. Rebecca said Maven Mane is going to change the industry, not because of the top tier products, but because of the heart behind it. I love that she said, I love what Jamie's doing, but it's not just me. We have a whole team and it's everyone. It's all of us. It's the whole community. So that was so sweet of her.
This message is for my stylist friends. I wish I could tell you exactly how I stumbled upon Maven Mane Co. and Beyond the Chair. I don't know if it just popped up in my feed, but one of the things that immediately got me is that the founder herself has trichotillomania. So I'm locked in when you say trick. So, and for those stylists who know me, you know that I have been working in non-surgical hair replacement for many years. I get more excited by the day about having found Maven Mane Co. and Beyond the Chair. If you have not already seen, I know you guys are seeing, even if you're doing more of the traditional services, which is wonderful, I know you guys are seeing the posts about hair loss and all of the options that are now available. But I need you to know this is literally probably one of the best, oh my gosh, one and two, oh my gosh, probably one of the best decisions I have ever made for my career. And one of the things, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm totally reading because this really stuck with me. Hair loss isn't a problem. It is the greatest opportunity that our industry has seen.
Okay, bear with me. Sorry, I'm grabbing wigs.
A few weeks back, I came across a reel from a woman in my community who is a hair loss specialist, and she's somebody I highly respect. Well, she posted a reel basically asking, would you believe me if I told you that this was a wig? I couldn't believe it. It looked so natural, I was floored. So of course, I had to investigate where she got it from and came across Maven Mane, an amazing community with integrity and heart. It's very much in line with my own. I couldn't help but to jump on board with this mission. It came a little bit out of nowhere, and I am still very new to all of this, and I still have so much to learn. But I am so excited to be able to partner with Maven Mane and help women on a whole nother level.
She's so sweet. I love her. Okay.
A few weeks back.
Oh. Let me go back here. Okay, so I could probably stop share. And then, is there a way to spotlight me? Oh, there we go. Perfect. Great. Now everybody can see. I'm going to come through and look at the chat and see what questions are in here. Backing up. Meshless integration, great question. So we do not do any kind of meshless sewn-in topper integration. We have some incredible people in our program that we can refer to you, including those with free programs. Bree has an incredible program on topper and sewn-in integrations. We primarily focus on wigs, but we do offer clip-in or any kind of fast install products, or we offer extensions to those who are trained. So we do not do extensions trainings. We may have things like that in the future. But at this time, it is primarily wigs and clip-in toppers. Here's one of our pieces. This is one of my favorite ones. This one was done as a natural base color, but with a highlight added. And we did a permanent curl. Oh no, yeah, was this? Yeah, this one was done with a permanent curl. And so I know everybody, this is actually, we do 3 different cap sizes. This is actually a ponytail cap. So everything we create is wefted back lace top, right, with the realistic hairlines, because everybody wants to see the hairlines. So that's always really important, right? All the way through to the front. I'll show you some more in just a second. I'm going to keep looking at questions here. Are you only offering the wig or can you choose extensions? You can get whatever you want. It's your business. Do you have textures? Yes. So we can create different textures. You'll learn inside of Wig University, inside of the program, that our mission is to always preserve the hair at the natural cuticle as much as we possibly can. We want to protect and preserve the raw hair, the virgin hair, as much as we possibly can. So we guide you on those decisions so you feel educated. As far as creating textures, in some cases, we can create hair. We'll source hair that already has a natural texture, but when it comes to like the kinky curls and anything that is like, you know, how do you say that? Just kinky curls, I think. That has to be done permanently using a gentle heat steaming process. Otherwise, it just wouldn't look right if we were trying to sew that hair into the wig before. It would kind of just turn out like a big frizz ball. So again, we teach on all of that inside of the program, and we'll educate you on all of those decisions when customizing wigs. So anything, any kind of curl, pretty much any curl pattern, you can send us a photo and go, can we make this? And we'll let you know. Okay. How long does it take to complete the training? Oh, look, and we have somebody who's already here inside. Sarah just joined us, I think last week, recently. She said, I did it in one day, maybe half. I'd be curious how much time you dedicated to that. I've actually been told by stylists, majority of them, it took them less than an hour accumulatively. And so they'll do it like in between appointments. They'll watch one lesson. And just to give you context, each lesson is designed to be like 3 to 5 minutes long. So you're not sitting there for 30 minutes going like, oh my God, not like this class, okay? When's this gonna be over? When's she gonna tell us the price? No, it's not like that at all. It's just really short, to the point lessons. Like I think Jackie said that, really to the point. We will try to be as respectful as your time as possible. We know you guys are busy. Aja, I love that name. You said, do you ship to Canada? But we totally can. All of our shipping within the US is free. And then we do charge a small shipping fee for anything out of the US, anything that's international, because those rates get crazy. But we would be more than happy to ship to you in Canada. Not a problem. More of the product. We need to see more of the product. I can do that. Actually, I need to think. Trying to show you guys some more with like highlights. Sometimes I sit here and I go, I need to brush them. I think this one is a level 6 with a slight highlight and a curl pattern applied. So, we're not creating curl patterns that look like a Pinterest board, right? This is not a wig factory that every single piece comes like a custom, like a stock unit that's coated in silicone and, made to look like it was made for a Barbie doll. Not even close. Every single piece is custom made. So that's one of the great things that you can express to your clients is the piece that we're going to make for you is literally made for you. It's a one of a kind. Like very rare chance that anybody's going to have the exact same wig that you're going to have from the different kinds of hairlines, right? Like this wig was actually made with an enhanced hairline. And so we do a different variation of where the knots get sewn into on the wig, because some people have more hair around the temples. Some people have a widow's peak, right? We want to take those things into consideration. So definitely not a one size fits all. Can clients purchase wigs online? Great question. No, they can't. Nope. This is exclusively a stylist program. Our product collections are locked to brand partners only. So we do have a public facing website, but we do not share products or pricing on that website. And so that way we're able to keep this stylist exclusive only. And And that protects your pricing and your margins, and nobody's going to go to the website and be like, but I saw the price on Maven Main's website and you're asking me this much. And no, that's not going to happen. So we work for you. We work for stylists only. Great question on the gray wigs. We get that a lot. Anything that's gray, and even on our colors, we can do like a silver, that anything that's custom colored to be gray, we can do like a silver gray, but anything that's a true gray, maybe part of our future. We have a collection we're currently in development on that is raw hair only. And that's how we can source some of the like natural blondes that you get some like the beautiful Russian children doll girls. You know what I mean? But like raw hair, so not colored. That collection will not be colored. And in some cases, we can source gray hair. It's very rare, but we'll always try for sure. Oh my God, Rose said, I have to jump on another Zoom meeting. Take my money. Please send me the sign up info. Take my money. I love that. That's amazing. There will be another, I think we may be doing, I don't know if we're doing another one next week, but there will be a replay. Yes. Thank you, Car. Car's got that. There will be a replay. I would love to get my first wig to have as a model for my clients. That's amazing. So that's exactly why we designed this program the way that it was, because we knew that those of you coming into the program, we didn't want to have you pay and then ask you to pay again to buy a wig like a lot of companies do. So we thought, let's do this the right way and make it so that you can join and your enrollment can be credited towards your first wig. Yes, you can custom color them. So all of our wigs can be custom colored. One of the things that we do that I think is so special in comparison to a lot of companies that will write is like our goal is to help relieve you from behind the chair. That's why the program is called Beyond the Chair, because it's both beyond the chair in terms of impact, income, and freedom, right? And so if we can fully customize the wig for you in terms of color combinations and toning and like, whatever it is that, when it comes time to actually fitting the wig on the client, it's just as minimal as possible, right? So your time invested on that is very short. So that's our goal. But then I also understand for those of you who maybe like me, like I'm a little bit of a control freak. I'll admit that. I would probably, if it were my clients, in some cases I might say, they like the way that you do your highlights or, and they want you to do it for them on their wig, right? And so, but this is an example of one of our highlight jobs that was done, by our factory, our preferred factory. Okay. So, just to kind of show you what that looks like, give you some examples. And we offer different variations of highlights from soft blended highlights to ribbon highlights to different percentages of highlights that you can make on each piece too, right? Because not everybody wants like a full head of highlights. Some just only want like a small percentage. So yeah, we try to get as detailed and customizing as we possibly can. Oh, yep. Someone said coiled. Thank you. That was the word that I was looking for earlier. Not kinky, but yeah, coiled. Yeah. Great question about the fee. So this is a membership. And so the $14.97 gets you access to the first year. After the first year, if you want to continue with us, it's a monthly fee. Or you can cancel. And so you have the ability to do that on your own. You can cancel completely on your own. The $14.97 goes towards the first year. And then after the first year, it's a monthly fee. And there's information about that on the page that we linked in here. And questions that come up after this between now and Sunday too, you're welcome to send us an email, send us a chat, and we will get back to you as quickly as we can. I am wearing a wig. That's a great question. They're all like, can we see the wigs? And I totally didn't even think. I'm wearing one. That's a really good point. So yes, I am wearing a wig. I've been wearing a wig the whole time. And just to prove that to you, this is one of our pieces. This is our natural black. This is what we call the Jamie, because this resembles my hair as close as possible. And so every once in a while, I'll pop on a different wig, and I wear all different kinds of colors all the time. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see like every post I'm like in a different. I'm sure the branding experts are like, what is she doing? No one's gonna recognize her. It's kind of part of the brand, okay? If you know, you know. So that was a great question. Yes, I am wearing a wig, and just to kind of show you, I actually did not brush this before I got on the call. But one of my favorite things about the wigs that we customize is how much you can just it looks and feels like your own hair. The ability to run your hands through them like this is just it's extraordinary. So this was, I think, a 16-inch. It actually might have come longer than that. I don't really like long hair, so I prefer to cut it. So I actually think this one probably came a little bit longer than this, and I had it cut, and I actually had it layered as well. So that, or angled, what's the word for that? Remember, again, non-stylist. So, so we had this one angled, so it would feel not as heavy, right? And it feels great. I forget I'm wearing it. Hence, um, are there any hay wigs? I'm not sure what that means. Like hay? Like, well, she said Hey, so I don't know if that maybe was a typo. Can we still buy without taking the university? No, unfortunately, sorry. This is a certification-driven program, and so we certify you on how to make these decisions. And I promise you, you do not want to make these decisions without going through the content in the certification. Okay, so that's really important. And so again, really short. I think Sarah said it might have taken her like maybe a couple hours with some breaks. Amazing. Sarah also said, I feel confident on how to order. Amazing. Um, the lead time for receiving, great question. So with our production, if it's not a base unit that's already in stock based on, we do a lot of the base colors, like the Jamie would be a base color. Any of our, I'll show you guys this is actually a temporary color ring. So we have a whole nother batch coming in production right now. But any base colors like, okay, so the lily is like our number two. Sometimes we'll keep these in stock, right? In order to um, speed up the production process. So any fully custom lace top wig can take anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks, depending on holidays and delays, in order to customize from scratch. And the reason is because I know a lot of people go, oh my God, are my clients going to wait for that? First of all, understand your clients are buying a fully custom wig, which means every single knot, every single hair is its own knot. So it's hand sewn. Every single hair is hand sewn. I know we have some wig artists in here, someone who's actually finishing a wig right now. I don't know if they're still on the call or not, and they can attest to this. I think Dawn told us recently when she does a full lace top wig, it can take 200 hours to make. And so any of our lace top wigs can take anywhere from like 70 to 90 plus hours to complete. And that's what creates that time frame. So we're always investing in wigs. We're always trying to build more stock pieces that are available at a variety of different lengths and colors and tones that we can add additional highlights and customizations at your request. And we'll always let you know if we can do something a little quicker. Great question. How do you handle returns? That's a fantastic question. So we have a 14-day workmanship guarantee, and that's listed on our public website if you want to read through that as well, mavenmain.com. And if you go to the footer at the bottom, it's got our brand partner agreements, guarantees, any kinds of stuff like that. So if there's ever a situation, which is very rare, but we know if certain things happen, then that would fall under a workmanship guarantee. Sung said, I should have said, when you start and get your first wig included, can you get the hair extensions instead? You can put that credit towards the additional credit towards any other products. The credit is designed to go towards your first wig. In some cases, our base colors can be a little bit cheaper. We start at, what is it, $13.47, something like that. So if you went with a base color with no other customizations and you have some credit left over, you can apply that credit towards other products. That's a great question. Let's see. I was at the other live and signed up to be a partner when we get information. So how much is one wig? So again, not all of our wigs are the same, right? So every single one is different. So I could make a 14-inch in a base color and start at $13.47, but then I'm going to apply highlights. I might want to apply different densities. We actually don't charge. One of the things we don't do, and we've been told we should, but we don't, is we don't charge for additional hairlines. We don't at this time, at the time of this recording. But that's it. I'm just kidding. And so it just depends if you want to add highlights, right? If you want to do a longer length. So it's going to increase the pricing. So we do pricing charts. We have a whole section of trainings on pricing, on how to price, that breaks it down by every single variant. from length, density, adding highlights, adding additional customizations, right? Any of that kind of stuff. We have a chart, and then the chart also will show you like the retail price and then the suggested stylist pricing. But this is a brand partnership, just like your other extensions partnerships. It's a brand partnership. So the brand partnership is designed that you can structure your own pricing in the salon. So we teach you how to set up your pricing in the salon, and then you factor in the cost to produce with us, and then that's how you'll determine your market gap, right? And what your profit margins will be. Professional color, great question. No textile dyes are used. We only use salon grade hair dye to make the wigs. And Jennifer, I'm not sure if she heard this earlier, but it's a $14.97 upfront. And then after the first year, it's just a monthly membership. And then you can cancel if you want to, but I guarantee you're going to want to stay because not only is the community incredible, and we're doing so many great things together, but it's just you're gonna do so well, right? If you really work the business the right way, then having a small monthly fee to keep a brand partnership access going after the first year is not until 12 months. So you have 12 months to go, and then the membership fee goes just towards maintaining wholesale access. And one wig will 5x your investment on the monthly fee. Okay, at least, right? A lot of times it could 20x. It just depends your salon and your pricing structure. If I can't do it this week, will you do this offer again soon? This offer is here for until Sunday. And so we can't guarantee that after Sunday that the offer will be exactly the same or that it will even be here. No, team, knowing me, I get wild hairs all the time. So, but you have throughout the whole weekend to decide, and if you have any questions, then you can reach out to us. Oh, Kelly's question. Kelly, if you're in the program already, then this does not apply to you. So you'll just send us an email if you have a question about that, or reach out to us. But this is a different training, so this doesn't apply to you. Okay. Yeah, you could totally add clips to the wig. There's clips on the inside. There's no glue on. We don't do any glue. Again, everything we do is fast installation. So it comes with clips on the inside. Let me see if I can see this one. Again, this one was actually customized to add bangs to this piece. And again, oh, actually and you can remove the clips too. This is a good example. In some cases, some clients might not want the clips, right? They don't maybe for our alopecia clients or our chemotherapy clients, they don't have the hair to clip into, and it might bother them. So we can remove the clips as well. And that can be something that you can ask us to do before the wig is shipped to in your customization notes, because we always have a note box that allows you to add additional customization notes and tell us if there's specific requests. Okay, we're always happy to do that, and that's just as easy as not sewing them onto the wig. That way you don't have to go removing them. Who is doing hairlines? Great question. Vendors then ship to us after you customize each one. Yeah, so we have a preferred manufacturer, right? We have hair that gets ordered from all over the world, but we have a preferred manufacturer that we work with that does the hairlines. In some cases, our team is trained and knows how to do the hairlines, but because we support a lot of orders, it'd be a lot of work for me to sit here doing this as well as sewing hairlines in every single day. I can, but no, we have somebody that we really trust to do that. And we've been asked, are you going to expand this into the United States? Are you going to have more of a team in the US? The answer is totally someday. Great question. Do we get the hair ring when we enroll? And so in some case, yeah, so this is a great question. So I know we didn't talk about this on the training today, but for those of you who do enroll, we like to make this a little bit of a surprise, but we do have a surprise for you after you join. And it's in the welcome video when you actually join the school community. I think I even said like something I didn't talk about is, we like to reward fast action takers. So when you complete WIG University within 7 days, we want to make you a starter kit, and the starter kit does include our proprietary color ring that works across all of our products, toppers, extensions, and wigs, and can be we retail this on our website to stylists for $199. And so that is included in the kit, but only if you are a fast action taker. We want to reward your momentum. Um, let's see. Oh, sorry, everyone wants to know the monthly fee. So after the 12 months, it's 97 a month. And like we said, that covers like a fraction of if you sold one wig a month after that. And we're able to, we teach you how to do this inside the program. It's not just product access. It's coaching access. It's growing your business. Jennifer said, ethically sourcing can be a hot topic with wigs. Do you provide partners high-level information to share with clients about sourcing? Great question. We actually have an entire course, I didn't mention this on here, an entire separate course suite that we just launched last month called Hair at the Source. And we talk through our entire sourcing process, how we make sourcing decisions, understanding the differences of hair. So I think that would probably answer your question about like how to talk about this with clients and how specifically with wigs, how we make those hair sourcing decisions. So, and then somebody once again asked for turnaround time with wigs that are custom, fully custom. We try to fit that within a 6 to 8 week timeline. 8 weeks would be worst case scenario for like holiday delays, international holidays, things like that. And so, yeah, that's what that is. I think I made it through. I think I made it through all of the comments. Um, let me see. Yeah, that's great. Oh my gosh, we did it. So good. Thank you everyone so much for attending. This was really fun. And if we just can't wait to welcome you. I guess we'll take Lisa. Do you want to say hi and thanks? Lisa's here. She's our stylist success manager.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone that joined us. I know we use the word exciting so much, but it really is. And the training, we will guide you. Everything that you're getting is so unbelievable. You will be so thankful. And we're just thankful to have you. And we're here for whatever your needs are. So
I love it.
come on board.
Yeah. Exactly. Thank you, everyone. So great. If you have any questions, reach out to us. You can reach out to us through the link. Our email is on there. And we look forward to hearing from you. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.